Hello, Taurus, Sun, Moon, and Rising, and welcome to October. Oh, Samhain. Okay. I love October. I love Halloween. So I'm very excited. I'm excited for this month. There are these beautiful big trines happening. And I'm just going to focus on that. I'm not going to get drilling down into the shifts of Mercury and the Sun and and Mars. I'll list all the days for that in the description box down below, but I really wanted to talk about this October 2nd solar eclipse, which will be happening at 10 degrees of Libra. Oh, and did I say I'm Shannon from Home Alchemy Astrology? A lot of times I just want to like jump right in, and I don't always say who I am, what my channel is. Please like, share, subscribe, help my channel grow. This is not what I do for a living. I have a career and a book I'm working on and all sorts of things, but eventually one day I would love to become a full-time astrologer. So please, please, please give me some love. All right, just help it grow. All right, so anyway, October 2nd, solar eclipse, 10 degrees of Libra, occurs for you in your 6th house of daily routines, health, pets, diet, what you do to keep yourself, healthy and well. People who serve you and work for you fall here, herbalists, health practitioners. The South Node has been here since July of 2023 and will also conjunct this eclipse along with Mercury. Mercury rules the 6th house. Repeating a pattern from last October 2023 when the same thing happened actually. This will be the last Libra solar eclipse in this Aries 12th house. This solar eclipse in the Libra 6th house, Aries 12th house axis for a long time. As the energy has started to shift since September, getting ready to move into that Pisces Virgo axis, and will become more prominent by January as the nodes will follow the Pisces kickoff eclipse, leaving Aries and Libra and shifting into your 11th house of good fortune and your 5th house of fun, joy, luck, lottery wins. I think you're going to like this next set of eclipses and the shifting of the nodes, as opposed to the Aries Libra cycle, closing out a story now and shining a light on your health, well-being, dietary and exercise routines. What you do to pay the bills. Your pets could have suffered, they could have passed, or you could have dealt with health issues, problems in day-to-day work, people you work with, people you employ. You most likely have felt a big energy drain since July of 2023 in that area. When the South Node started to transit the 6th house, you could have also been letting go of certain things, certain habits, people that you work with, things like that. At this time, your 6th house is loaded and lit up with the sun, and the solar eclipse is like a new moon on steroids. If I didn't mention it, you can make 10 new moon wishes, but write them down on paper. Okay, Lilith is here, Mercury, South Node, I mentioned that. And what this could mean for you is you could have identified over the past year or so self-induing behavior with the Aries North Node being in that 12th house of addictions. You could be kicking a bad habit with new health routines. Kicking a substance that was bad for you, like too much alcohol, taking better care of your body. Lilith is here in the 6th, being lit up by the sun, so maybe you're burning away a taboo matter, or it's exposed in the 6th house, some addiction, or maybe you had a relation with a coworker that you're not supposed to, for example. I also forgot to mention that this eclipse is conjunct via, Vindi Beatrix. It's a constellation, or it's a fixed star in the constellation of Virgo, and can represent a self-undoing behavior for men, or like a disgrace or a fall. I believe the story had something to do with a grape gathering, falling from a tree. I'd have to look into the story behind that, but anyway, it does represent grape gathering, a grape harvest, and can be tied to like Dionysus or Bacchus, the wine god. Wine gods. So in less intense terms, and in the 6th house, you could be doing it with wine and drink, maybe having an embarrassment that could come out, but I don't see too much negativity with this solar eclipse. There is a tie to the liver and stomach as well, so watch for that. Maybe you're trying to get rid of drinking, too much after work parties, something like that. You could be hiring new people to work for you because Mercury, who rules contracts, is in the mix, and Libra is about collaborations. You could be collaborating with someone or some people on a new work project that can begin or start to unfold now over the next 6 months to a year. This person possibly can be coming from a past life with the South Node being here, and Mercury. Maybe they're younger than you, or they have a karmic obligation to you or a contract that you made with them in a past life. You could also find a fated healer. Also, this person can be coming back into your life to kind of repay a karmic debt. Yeah, and they could be a foreigner, as the other end of this is your Aries 12th house of foreign shores. Alternatively, new projects begun can be in contracts with people or a business from a country foreign from yours at this time. Mars and Cancer from your 3rd house will square the Sun in Libra at this time, creating a little bit of tension or possibly frustration or anger with news that comes up around your work projects or with your health. The key is to find a middle ground, some kind of balance and cooperation now, which is Libra's cup of tea. Venus rules Libra and your sign, and this eclipse will be in Scorpio. I'm sorry. Venus rules Libra and your sign, and this eclipse is the depositor of this eclipse. And Venus will be in Scorpio, in your 7th house of other, in love, marriage, business, close personal relationships, business alliances. The 7th Scorpio house is flowing to Saturn and Pisces in your 11th luck house of big gains, groups, the internet, humanitarian groups, lottery wins. And then your 3rd house of Cancer, where Mars is. So this represents a grand water trine of flow and ease between your 3rd house of communication, your 7th house of contracts, close personal relationships, and your 11th luck house. Your partner could be the one experiencing some kind of luck, maybe through 3rd house efforts with Mars there, maybe a communication project, a written contract, something with media and communication. They could have put a lot of effort in there with Mars and Saturn. Saturn in the 11th house would have required a consistent effort, but maybe it's paying off now at this time with this trying to flow and ease. And because Venus is there in your partnership house, kind of glowing them up with maybe money coming in, and it may not be as much as they would have wanted, as Saturn does create like some limits and blockages in that big 11th gain house, but nonetheless there could be a gain there which has like a knock-on effect for you. As the signs of Pisces and Cancer also sextile your sun, moon, or ascendant, if this isn't for a partner, then the same can apply for you. There's also a trine coming from the outer planets, Pluto and Capricorn in your 9th house, Uranus in your 1st house, and Neptune over in your 11th. Again, there's a really nice flow of ease, of ending of a story, completing a chapter around large groups of people, friend groups, humanitarian causes, big gains, foreign travel, higher education, spirituality, religion, and your identity and your body overall could all be parts of the story now, leading you to a new beginning in your life overall, especially after having hosted Uranus in your 1st house for so long. You most definitely have changed as a person. Maybe you're finishing a long course of study to become a doctor, a long course of travel or living abroad, a religious study, publishing a book that in turn affects or completes a long-term goal related to society or spirituality, changing your identity or process in your title. And it may not be so visible to everybody else, as the outer planets can create like subtle changes. And these changes could be pretty deep, with Neptune involved as a planet of, sorry, I thought I was being called, of deep empathy and spirituality, and it's sitting in your 11th house of networks and friend groups. You could have changed the groups that you belong to, maybe celebrity groups, as the 11th house represents celebrities or humanitarian groups. Neptune is preparing to return to its home of the 12th house, which for you is Aries. Maybe you're becoming a warrior for the underserved or the marginalized people in some way. Pluto will shift to your 10th house of career and father figures and your standing in the world. So what your title is can change in powerful ways in the coming years, with no doubt. And with Uranus shifting from your 1st, which has at time brought a lot of shakeups in your life and the world and the earth and the way that you look, even where you live, will move to your 2nd house of bank accounts, land, property, food and wine, what you eat and put in your mouth, self-worth, your family. Neptune going to that 12th house of faraway places. You could move to a foreign land for work, as an example, and start to earn money as Uranus moves into that 2nd house. You could start to earn money from that faraway place. What else? You can start to change the work that you do for a living, and it involves foreign currency. The way you make money will definitely be changing with Uranus shifting there. And maybe you start like a clothing brand. The second house can rule like resources, and you naturally rule that house, like fine food, fine clothes. Maybe it's sustainable or helps the earth somehow, but also maybe giving a percentage back to people in need. And then you're no longer known as a CEO, but you're a humanitarian business owner. Or you no longer do a 9 to 5 and you've become a CEO, but a humanitarian business owner. Just an example, your self-esteem and self-worth can increase over these next years by doing work and earning money in a way that your soul is more in alignment with, no longer desiring or needing that 11th house of celebritydom, where that's not a word, but where Neptune transited for so long. Yeah. Okay, so this could present a powerful new you in that 10th Aquarius house, possibly making you famous for the new work that you will begin to do, especially if it does have a humanitarian bend to it or helps marginalized people in some way. It could be tech related, or maybe developing an app that helps people. These are just a few ways that this can play out. Lastly, the full moon will be in Aries on October 17th at 24 degrees, affecting you if you have Aries or Libra placements anywhere from 20 to 28 degrees. This full moon will receive a sextile from Jupiter and Gemini in your second house, where he's been since June, trying to expand your self-worth, your esteem, your land, your property. You could have bought more than one property, or you still will, because Jupiter will remain here until next June. Jupiter here is trying to maybe increasing your immediate family. There's that, or a new diet. Maybe you've done like cosmetic work to your teeth or your face, or you plan to, and in turn increases your self-esteem. This full moon happens in your 12th house of self-undoing behaviors, rest, recuperation, ashram, spirituality, liberation, past lives. They all fall here in the 12th house domain. There could be a culmination around those topics, like maybe you're revealing a work or a creative project that you've been working on away from hidden eyes, in seclusion. Maybe it's complete now. And when we have activity in the 12th house where you've been hosting your North Node since July 2023, you could have been working on this for a while and you're finishing it now, or you will by January. Maybe a film project or something Neptunian in nature. Film, fantasy, YouTube, Instagram, and you're ready to show it to the public. Bringing it out of that 12th house, and it could yield big money with Jupiter sextiling this moon, Jupiter in your second. A project that would be very favorable, also possibly like amongst women or many people, is the public falls under the moon's domain and rules feminine energy, the women, public. This moon is receiving some difficulty from the outer planets, Neptune, Uranus, and Pluto. But it can be felt more on like a subtle level, tension or restlessness about wanting to have results from that 12th house project, or healing in relation to self-improvement. There could be a psychological like purge that is happening now that leads to breakthroughs and patterns with family and women in particular at this time. A square isn't awful. I don't look at it that way. I have some in my chart. I look at them as a chance, or it creates energy that's much needed for change. Trines can make us too lazy. So all right, Taurus, we'll see you in November, and again, please like, share, subscribe, and help my channel grow.